second youngest ever to win that title, 20 years of age. And the big question, how will he handle the role and the distinction that goes with the title? For some, it can be a burden. For others, something he can grow into.
Well, it's interesting, going into the Olympics, I don't think anybody took him seriously because he's been so inconsistent in the past.
Well, Barb, I have a hard time putting Alexei Urmanov in the same breath as Scott Hamilton or Brian Boitano, because it hasn't been since 1980, when Robin Cousins won the Olympics in Lake Placid, that a man has won the Olympic title before winning a world championship.
It's the triple axel. Oh, a little tight. He does a turn in between.
And that turn in between is going to cost him. There's going to be at least, actually it's not at least, it is a .2 deduction, automatic.
Now that was close. That was really hard to see if that was 2 foot. We'll have to check the replay.
Of course, the judges don't have that luxury.
He's really struggling out there. He hasn't been on top of one of these jumps yet in this technical program. Looks as though he's really tight out there.
Certainly not a winning performance out there.
I found it most uninspiring. He seemed to be very tight, very caught up in the job that he had to do, and just couldn't relax enough to get that job done.
Well, you know, coming out of the Olympics, I'm sure that Alexei was just as surprised as everybody else that he had won, and those are big shoes to fill. Here's the triple axel, really tight position in the air, but he just can't get the free leg out in time, but he does do the second jump. So as Paul said, it only will be a .2 deduction.
And here's a look at his second jump. The triple Lutz gets up nice and straight. No, I think it's clean, Barb, but not exactly the prettiest of landings.
Marks for the Olympic champion when we return. We're back in Japan awaiting the marks of the Olympic champion, Alexei Urmanov. And just a cautionary note, he didn't skate well in qualifying and yet got first place marks in his pool. That's another nice benefit of being the Olympic champion in some ways. These will not be the best, though. Required element marks of 5.3 through 5.6. The Russian judge at 5.5 is the interesting one because he has a tie for first place between Candeloro and Zagorodnik. And now the second set of marks come up, and they are much better. The artistry marks again. 5.8 is the high mark on the board. 2 seconds. And for the most part, thirds, and that's where Urmanov sits at the moment. Backstage, Sebastian Britten of Canada awaits his world debut. He skated in a group with Brian Boitano, Victor Petrenko, and Kurt Browning at the Olympics, a long way from his early days in the sport.